wrestling fans, and more importantly, Apex wrestling fans. Join me in welcoming a very special guest here on a special edition of Strong Style. He is the mastermind behind everything over at Apex. He is Josh Fields. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me tonight. I always love hopping on here and promoting the show.
Absolutely. We love having you on because not only we like you, think you're a good guy and everything, but my goodness, like I said, I should stop being surprised that each of these shows just get better and better. And I'm not just saying that with you sitting here. I have said it to many people off camera. But you have a star-studded event, and we'll get into all seven matches here in a minute. But I think I had a couple fan questions, because I always throw it out to the fans and say, if there's something you want to ask, then throw it out there. And this particular fan, I normally see up in Rome at the show up there. Matt Williams is his name, but he's a big time wrestling fan. I'm surprised he hadn't made the trip over to see you yet. Um, where is that one? Oh, he wanted to know, as a promoter, what is the most difficult aspect of the business?
Financials, plain and simple. It's it's making sure that at the end of the day you make a profit. I mean, and that's I've gotten a lot of heat from saying that, but the truth's the truth. If if this is a hobby, then it's going to be a hobby, and you're going to spend a lot of money. If it's a business, then you're going to treat it as a business. And if you're not making money, then what are you doing? So
Exactly. That's
basically,
what
that's basically what it boils down to.
that's what I tell people. It's called the wrestling business. It's not called the wrestling hobby. It's not called the wrestling interest. It's a wrestling business. And if you're in business, one of your main goals, one of your top two, I would say, probably your top, but one of your top two should be, I need to turn a profit. I need to make money. And we're not talking millions of dollars, but if you're spending money every time, you're not going to be in business very long.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll probably say this is probably pretty controversial. So here we go. Imagine that, me saying something controversial, but I believe right now we're in a wrestling bubble. As far as and I don't want this to be taken out of context because I want to make sure that what I say is heard through the whole statement.
Mhm.
But as expenses rise and continue to rise, the venues are now adding red tape, and it's just, I mean, there's the bubble can only go so much before it finally busts. So I mean that's one thing. And I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer here, but you got to be
Mm.
honest with yourself, and that's where I think wrestling. I think it's in a great place, but I
Mhm.
also think that it's a bubble that if we're not careful, it's going to burst, and it could be very bad.
I agree. I agree. And I'm not the only media person to say this out loud or on a publication too. Is honestly, I want everybody to do well. I love that it's booming and the way it is right now. Not to us diehards, doesn't matter if it's the cool thing to watch wrestling. We'll watch it anyway because we love it. But
Right.
it's now the cool, popular thing to watch wrestling again, and that's really cool because you get such unique audiences and everything. But not just in the state of Georgia, I'd say probably worldwide, there are too many promotions and organizations. And like you said, either the dream or the bubble are going to burst on some of them, or you're going to start to see them either choking each other out or starting to eat each other up or absorb each other. Maybe a couple of them combine up, which is not a bad idea in some of them cases. But I do think, unfortunately, maybe in 2026, we start to lose a few, either for financial reasons or they decide, like I said, maybe they decide to partner up and we combine two or three, but I think there are too many right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But like I say, maybe I'm wrong, and this is the one thing I can say. Yep, I was wrong, and I was glad to be wrong.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that one. We'll get to a couple other match questions here in a minute because they're going to tie into the matches we talk about. Uh, seven big matches. I'm going to start with the one that you just announced yesterday, I believe. where All Star Special are going to face Charlie Kills and a mystery opponent. How did this even come about?
Well, All-Star Special. Well, they needed a tag team opponent for this one, so I reached out to Charlie. Charlie reached out to a friend of his. Friend didn't want to be announced, so I guess All-Star Special is about to get a little surprise.
Yeah, because anybody that's unfamiliar with Charlie Kills, I implore you to use your browser to look him up here in a second. I would prefer you choose YouTube or Instagram, but if you're a friend of Charlie Kills, that just spells even more disaster for All Star Special.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting match for sure. The crowd's gonna definitely enjoy who's coming with him.
I can only imagine, and I don't want you to spoil it. So we're going to move on to the next match. Um, I said beforehand too that there is one that if you made me pick a match that I would be the most interested in, and I will defend this a little later with another one as well that I am interested in for a different reason. Um, Sal Renaro versus Matt Sells just screams Jeremy the Impact York picked this match. It just sounds like I have met and spoken to Sal. He has been on this show. Uh, the Boozerweight Matt Sex Sells is a future guest. We just got to nail down a time for him to be on here. I have talked to him dozens of times. Two of my favorite people to watch. Maybe it's because they're old school guys. Maybe it's because of just the things they come up with. But this match might steal the whole card on a card that is just as 5 stars as it can be.
Well, I've never booked Sal versus Matt, and I was just looking, and I was like, why not? Both have them available here.
Yeah,
Why not? Why not? And if anybody knows Sal or anybody knows Matt, or if you know both of them, they're going to leave it in the ring, and you're going to be entertained, and they're going to leave it all out in that square circle for you.
absolutely, absolutely. Sal is just a mastermind of the business and all the things that he does, including a lot of things people don't realize he's a part of. And Matt, even with his recent promos, where it's not he's not making anything up. All he's saying are straight facts about the thing and the opportunities that usually go by the wayside as far as he's concerned. So not only did you book Matt in a place that serves alcohol, which he very much appreciates, but you booked him in a high profile match with another of one of the best talents in Georgia. So I think this is just going to be a spectacular match.
I agree with you.
Let's go to let's go to this one just because this is another one I'm very familiar with. Um, Agent 003, otherwise known as Chad Skywalker, is going to face Alex Kane. And I mean, this is for people who don't know. This is a showcase of two of the top 10, depending on which list you look at, possibly two of the top five in Georgia. And these two don't like each other, so you put them in a ring together, and you're just going to get just a crazy carnival ride of a wrestling match.
Absolutely. They had a little heat a couple months ago back in that six-way challenge. So yeah, we just like everything. The best place to do is sell at the ring, and that's where we put it. Chad has dramatically improved over the last year. Alex is Alex, so
Mm-hmm.
get ready. Yeah, I'm gonna stop you here. We've only did three matches, and if you're telling me that this ain't what that those three matches aren't worth $5 general
Yeah,
admission, I mean, I I I mean,
true.
sometimes you don't have to sell anything. Sometimes you just gotta look at paper and make a financial decision.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, and I had forgotten that I was going to mention it at the beginning. So my apologies on that. But yeah, you knocked the ticket prices down to I think VIP tables are at $20, and general admission is $5. So in this crazy economic world that we're in right now, with all kinds of different financial things hitting people in all different directions, you dropped your ticket prices, and you said, you know what? Just give me $5 and give me a couple hours of your time, and I promise you, you're going to get more than your money's worth back.
Absolutely, that is. I know it's the holidays are coming up, and expenses, and economic times are up and down like crazy. So, you know, for this show, why not? Let's just pack it out and have fun.
Absolutely. I hope more promoters at least take the lead a little bit on what you're doing here. I think there's a couple that if they drop their prices just a hair anyway, whether it's a one-time thing or not, I think they would double what they get in the door. It's a crazy thing, just depends on your market, but I do think you can price yourself out of a fan, and I think sometimes people are guilty of that.
I completely agree.
Um, Yeah, where do I want to go next? There are so many good things. Let's go to one that I said. I am so surprised that there are not more crossover, more invasions, more people working together. As I said, people combining up, whether it's taking two companies into one or two companies and doing a talent exchange. We see WWE do it with Japan. We see AEW and TNA did it at one point. Even the big companies go, you know what? I'm gonna send you a handful of my people, and you send me a handful of yours. It's a fresh set of opponents and all that, but in this case, for people who have not been to the Nightmare Factory, they get to not only see two of the biggest pupils there right now in Mike Cunningham and Tyson Mulrick. Mike Cunningham is the current champion there. He's going to defend that belt at or against Tyson Mulrick. And not only, like I said, it's so crazy to see another company's belt defending at a different show. I don't understand why more people don't do this. Like if you're champion of one, you should be able to defend at others. You don't get to see that. And as of 2 weeks ago, Mike Cunningham is one of the newest WWE ID guys. So this kind of worked out as best as it could.
Absolutely, and people forget that back in the day when there was territories, the NWA champ would go around the loop
Mhm.
and like they would. I mean, that's how this business was built on as far as the territories. And if you don't think the Indies is one huge territory right now, and if you
Mhm.
don't think that, you're sadly mistaken. It is. You have the WWE, AEW, and Impact, and I'm sure I've missed somebody. But then under that, you got everybody at MLW, which is now, as of yesterday, located in South Carolina. I found
Yeah,
out in
didn't
Charleston.
know
They're
that.
moving. Yeah, Court Bauer is moving their headquarters to Charleston, South Carolina. So yeah, I mean, you got all this talent. I mean, it's just, I mean, like I say, why not?
Yeah,
So here we are, and you know me, I'm Mister Why Not. So let's try it once, see what happens.
exactly. Absolutely. There is. I always like that. If you see an opportunity you think could pan out, you're like, let's do it. Let's roll the dice. Let's just see what happens.
Absolutely.
But besides that, like I said, for people who haven't been to the Nightmare Factory, I haven't. I've met some of the people from there. One of my co-hosts of one of my other shows, his nephew trained there for about 6 months, and it's a great facility. But to see their two of their biggest people and their belt defended, that's a special treat right there.
I do apologize this, but dogs are about to go crazy, so I'm going to have to adjust my place in the house.
You are all right.
This is what happens when you do it go live, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, just like the wrestling business, you tune in because you
Mm.
just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, sorry about that. My apologies.
You're good.
All
The
right,
best
now I'm
part is,
back.
is is we didn't take but a mini tour of your house, so that's even better.
Yeah, good deal. I'm glad everybody got the full tour.
Yep. Make sure we exit through the gift shop, right?
Absolutely. Always pick up a shirt on your way out.
Yep. Absolutely. So we went through five of these matchups. Did I miss one, two, three, four? What did I miss one? Where did I miss one? We have went through four so far.
Gianna, Savannah, and
That
Isabella
was that
Wilder.
one. Yep. Yep. Man. And one of those is going to give me a lot of crap for that. Um, Somebody who's tearing up the indie world right now. I have seen her at a handful of different places already just in the last couple months, and that is Isabel Wilder. She is going to face Gianna Gage and Savannah Evans in a three-way dance that is just must see because if you haven't seen Savannah Evans, I'm familiar with her through her TNA days. Gianna Gage is another one who is just tearing it up, and Isabella is one of the bigger, hotter acts right now, at least on this coast. And to have all three of them in the same building, this is definitely get your popcorn and snacks early. You're not going to want to leave your seat during this one.
Absolutely. And this is another thing that we are doing. If you haven't noticed, we're always going to book two women's matches. So I know that that's kind of crazy to think of promotion doing that, but yes, I am very excited to see how this match unfolds.
And I will even defend it by saying, in a world where the women's division, especially in Georgia, is growing and the surrounding area is growing, and a lot of people say, man, out in this area, there's just not a lot that are out this way. I understand that, but it's also called pick up the phone and see if they're willing to travel to you because maybe they are. A lot of them will hit a show near you and then come to your show next. I've heard a lot of them tell me that to tell promoters that if they can do a double shot, a lot of them will open one show and close another.
Yeah, that's a crazy concept.
Yeah. Imagine that people that want to work and they can't work because people won't call them. But now we get into, man, I don't know if this is the meat and potatoes of the card or if this is like the birthday cake at the end or something here. We get into the finals of some of the more talked about tournaments that we've had in a long time in Georgia. Once again, this is not just me saying it because you're on the show. I'm not just saying it. Other people say it and echo it as well. Your finals of the women's tournament and the men's tournament to determine the new champions for Apex and to establish that first one. I'm going to start with the women's match, and this is the one where I'm going to defend it and say, as good as Izzy Moreno is, her facing Kelsey Reagan in this, as far as the House of Impact Media is concerned, we are Kelsey Reagan fans, and we wish her the absolute best. And but these two, I mean, you could say she went through a crazier path to get here, but I could also say that she rose to the occasion of every one of those. And so did Izzy. A lot of people did not have Izzy Moreno penciled in as the person in the finals against Kelsey Reagan. And both these ladies more than brought it last time and proved, hey, it's us. We're the best.
Yeah, Izzy took care of business when she had to. Kelsey knocked out three opponents getting here. So, I mean, the road has been earned, and I want to just say this when we're getting into these championship matches,
Mm-hmm.
um, the road to get here has been definitely a long and winding
Yeah,
one, personally and professionally, and that for Saturday night finally to get here, it's gonna be a lot of pride watching our first champions take their place.
absolutely. And I would be remiss if I did not mention, too, that at the end of your last show, Izzy and Kelsey did get a little physical, with Kelsey getting a little bit of the upper hand there, where she tried to give herself a little bit more of an advantage on Izzy. So hopefully Izzy is 100% for this one. But either way, I feel like they're going to just tear the place down.
Absolutely agree.
And then that moves us to, I guess it could be the main event. We really don't know. You're the only one that would actually know that. But we move to the men's final, where there is the perennial favorite on one side, and there is it's just like the women. There's a perennial favorite on one side, and there's that weird, wild, just I guess wild card on the other side, to where you're like, you know what? There's a chance they pull this off, and Rayhan and Teus and Elijah Drago. Like I said, when this tournament started, a lot of people said, Drago's got to be a favorite from everything he did at 1FW. I saw him at a Mucha Lucha show. Everywhere you see it, this kid is like 6'5", 6'6". I might be shortening him a few inches. He just built. You look at him and go, that's a pro wrestler. And then you watch Antaeus in the ring and you go, you know what? That's also a pro wrestler. And the styles that are going to clash in this one, I think, is just going to make it magic.
I agree. I agree. Both with huge wins to get here. Um, Drago's a huge dude. So is Rayhan. So
Mm-hmm.
the yeah, I'll give you a little spoiler here. So you ready for spoilers? You
All right.
just kind of alluded to the main event. The main event will be the women's championship match.
Oh, then I applaud you on many levels, and once again, on behalf of Team Kelsey Reagan, we definitely appreciate your generosity in making that the main event because I would argue it might be a little bigger than the men's match.
You're gonna find out.
Yeah,
Let's see who wants to steal the show.
exactly. There is 7 matches full of opportunities to steal this show and to grab that brass ring of being match of the night. And I look forward to seeing which of these 7 it's going to be. I think it's going to be a 7 horse race the whole way.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely ready and fired up for Saturday night at 7:30. $5 gets you in the door. We have a couple $20 ringside seats left. It's definitely, like you said, the American Legion bar will be open for anybody that buys a ticket to the show. Of course, 21 or bolder.
Yep.
Let me put that in there. And we will definitely the meet and greet with the talent and concessions will be wide open. So bring your family out. It is a family show, even though there is a bar there. As far as everything in ring, that it is, I give it PG-13 rating.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think we're beyond the PG area of wrestling
Oh yeah,
all the way across the board. I think we're at least in the PG-13.
who
Uh,
knows? 13-year-olds and know more than me, and I'm 47 now. So yeah, they know some stuff. I have no clue what it is. So.
Absolutely, I learn every day things that I don't know, and that's spectacular. But as you said, that's on 90 Millage Road in Augusta at the American Legion. Doors at 7, bell times at 7:30. I would implore people to get there just a hair earlier than that because, like you said, there's the meet and greet. Go meet any and all of those people that I just mentioned. A handful of them will actually know who I am. Of those, maybe 1 or 2 will actually agree that they know who I am. But that's fine. This show is all about them and all about you, Josh, and everything you're doing out there. I think you're doing a spectacular thing. I look forward to seeing the champions that get established and the aftermath because your show is a big favorite of mine for a lot of reasons. But one is because it's just like almost any movie that you watch. You got to stay past the credits. You just don't know what can happen after a match.
Correct. And I promise you this, hold on tight.
Well, we are going to hold on tight and move into the rest of our evenings. But as always, Josh, it is spectacular having you on. We wish you all the best moving forward. I can't wait to see the video of this because I unfortunately will not be able to be there. I'm going to make it out on one of your shows at some point. I've got to figure out the logistics of that because I'm on the other side of the state. But they're just the way you put these together. I'm like, I got to find a way to make it to one of these.
Yep. Whenever you can make it, come on down and see us. Doors always open.
And we appreciate that. And you know, the door is always open here at Impact Media for you. But for Josh Fields, for Apex Wrestling, and for me, Jeremy the Impact York here at Impact Media, this has been another great edition of Strong Style. We will see you guys down the road. Deuces, gooses. Go watch Apex.